Okay, I've been avoiding this for the past 3 reviews because it doesn't show up there much in the animation, but because we got some live action stuff this time, I just couldn't avoid it anymore. But just screw this stupid giant hat! There's a line in this story about the Doctor getting excited over the prospect of getting a new hat, which is something I didn't know about the second Doctor, that he likes hats a lot, but I hate this stupid ugly thing. I'm sure it was a deliberate costume choice to, give him something zany to wear to set him apart from the first actor, kind of like what they did with Tom Baker and his long scarf, but no, it just doesn't work. It looks ridiculous and stupid. I had never seen it before this review marathon, and I sincerely hope it disappears soon. Forgive the ranting about the terrible hat, I just felt it was crucial that you understood my feelings on the matter. The Underwater Menace is a 4-part story featuring the second Doctor and companions Ben, Polly, and newcomer Jamie McCrimmon, the Scottish lad who joined the team after the last-minute casting change at the end of The Highlanders. This is also the first serial of 1967 and the first canonical second Doctor story to feature a complete live-action episode. You know the drill by now. The BBC wiped a ton of the master tapes back in the day, so a lot of 60s Doctor Who is lost forever, surviving only in audio recordings and fan-edited reconstructions. Well, The Underwater Menace is no different, having episodes 1 and 4 lost, but episodes 2 and 3 remain intact. So if anything, this could be remembered for that fascinating bit of information. Speaking of being remembered for something, the first I ever heard of this serial was from this video right here by the legend Josh Snaz. It's a fascinating watch. Certainly more informative and well edited than any of my videos, so I 100% recommend giving that video a watch once you're done here. Or now, I don't mind. Well, long story short, for episodes 1 and 4, instead of any official animation, we just get the most basic of telesnap reconstructions ever. Although, unlike the stellar works of Loose Cannon and other fans, that's all you get. Still images to accompany the audio. No narrative text or cool edits, just nothing. Thankfully, with that in mind, I opted to hop on over to Dailymotion so I could watch the Loose Cannon reconstructions of episodes 1 and 4 with the additional narrative text and a couple of cool visual edits, because you really need to. It's damn near essential for this story. There are some long stretches with no dialogue where you have no idea what's going on if you're watching the DVD. Now that you know the best way to watch it, how's the story itself? I must admit, I led myself into believing that this was going to be a really bad story. I was so sure I remembered watching a Stu Bagfull video years ago in which he said that he loved The Underwater Menace as an audio story, but when watching it, it all fell apart. Don't quote me on that though, because I spent a few hours desperately trying to find that video or any reference of it, and I can't find it anywhere, so it might have been a different serial he was talking about, or someone completely different altogether, like maybe it was Clever Dick Films or Terror. I should probably cut myself some slack. It's been at least 10 years since I was, like, die-hard Doctor Who. Anyways, what was I talking about? The reception, the critical reception. Even the archived reviews on Wikipedia from back when the show first aired tore it to shreds, particularly pointing out the fish people design. Not to mention that Josh Snaz video I mentioned earlier, which, to be fair, never actually paints The Underwater Menace in a negative light, just the lackluster DVD release. So essentially, I was once again judging a book by its cover. Whoops. But I actually really liked it. It's definitely a more campy adventure, but there's nothing wrong with having a bit of fun with the material. It revolves around the TARDIS landing near the lost city of Atlantis around the year 1970? Bit odd, but I'll buy it. There's a lot of familiar elements, like prison escape, evil genius, cult-like sacrifice. Why is it that every single society in these old sci-fi shows always got to be obsessed with sacrificing something? Just, no! Stop it. I gotta say, I was really digging it. The pacing and tension at the start was so good, and overall this one features some of the better side characters in classic Doctor Who so far, with each of them being memorable, much like the first Doctor's Keys of Marinus storyline. Not to mention the main villain, who goes from quiet, secluded, menacing scientist to full-on, bombastic, moustache-twirling supervillain. All in all, I found it to be a fairly decent set of episodes, much like The Highlanders. Nowhere near as bad as I was led to believe, or led myself to believe. See, this is the thing. If you say something bad about something, then the odds of somebody watching it, expecting it to be bad, and then actually being good is increased. Like Morbius. Ugh. And then vice versa. If you say, hey, this is really cool, and then somebody actually watches it and it lets them down. So, this is the dilemma I have when doing reviews. I just gotta try my best to be as subjective as I can, and just let people, decide whether they want to watch it or not. Because again, these are just what I think first time through. This is unscripted, I'm rambling, we're gonna stop now. It really is a shame that episode 4 in particular is lost, because it seems like there's a lot of intricate action going on here. And this being the age of practical effects, it would have been so cool to see walls crumbling and chambers flooding with water. I guess that goes to show, I understand what they were saying when they said it was too expensive or too time consuming to animate. Well, hopefully one day. Blu-ray release maybe? Please? Okay, fine, I'll talk about the elefish in the room. The fish people, and yes, they really are just called the fish people, have some of the goofiest designed costumes in Doctor Who so far, if not the whole series. I've heard and read all about how hated they are, and how so many people despise them, looking like people in bodysuits wearing tutus. And yeah, they do look really silly, but also they're only the focus of 2 scenes. The first one admittedly being the worst offender. Just this extended 2.5 minute scene where they slowly swim around and gurgle at each other. It has a story reason, but it just doesn't work. The practical nature of it is, I don't know, admirable, I guess, but it just goes on way too long. The second scene sees them just bobbing up and down on the surface of the water while another character talks to them. They were nowhere near as bad as I thought they'd be, and honestly, just get over it. The Underwater Menace is okay. I seem to like it more than most, and that's okay too. Like what you like, and let other people like what they like too. It's easy. Unless what you like is that stupid hat. I will burn it if it's not gone in the next few serials. Would you look at that? We've made it to the end of yet another review. How awesome. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Tune in next time when we look at the Moon Base. Oh, another Cybermen story. I can't wait. The DVD cover seems to indicate that they're getting more and more into their more commonly seen design, not the weird one from their first appearance, but can't wait to see you next time.